Okay, let me describe. Actually, you know what? I don't even have to go into a very detailed description. I can sum it up in one word. Today was long. Today was very long. It was, there wasn't a lot of movement. I was pretty much just hovering around in the house, but I was just rotating between three states of being: studying, going down in the kitchen to eat something, and then laying down and, watching episodes of The Sopranos. So that was in preparation for an exam that I had at 5. I do feel like I did pretty good on it, at least relative to you know how comfortable I am with the material. But it's whatever. So whole day of that, but I feel pretty carved up. I had over the course of the day I had a whole baguette that I was dipping in some olive oil with some pepper flakes and salt. Plus I was drinking a ton of electrolyte packs and water. So I feel carved up, electrolyted up. That's it's not really a saying, but I don't know why it's not a saying. Your electrolytes are freaking important, man. I feel like I've gone on so many rants hyping up electrolytes, so we'll just skip it. But I'm I'm not particularly, well, I am enthused. I am excited to go lift. But in terms of how I kind of feel physically, I think if I were to lay down in bed and get cozy, I would probably pass. I'd probably pass the heck out in about zero point 0.1 seconds. So if you're ever in that state, and let's say time is ticking, and it's getting late for your lift, the last thing you're going to want to do is put it off. You know, I mean, ideally you're going to want to be so hyped up about lifting that you would never want to put it off, right? But sometimes, you do kind of feel tired. I'll definitely get some. All right, I'm just going to sit down for like 30 more minutes, and then I'll get up and take the pre, get in the car, and drive over. I'll still get that. But if you are kind of feeling that kind of lethargy, you're going to feel better if instead of just saying, screw it, no lift for me, I'll make it a rest day. If you actually go in, get in the car, as soon as you take your pre and you do your warm up sets, right, hype should begin to kick in. Hype should freaking begin to kick in, especially if you watch, something to hype you up, some kind of AMV. Last was it chest? Yeah, last chest day I was spamming the song, the OST, when Reiner and Bertolt fucking, when that curtain was unveiled. That's fucking cool. That's one thing that I do like about listening to songs from soundtracks, is you kind of get an extra level of hype, because you can listen to a song and it can have its own inherent value, like fucking, I don't know, some kind of Metallica something or other, or fucking, let me think of what else, like Suicide Boy, shit like that. Like, the song can just be badass, but if you kind of correlate that in your mind with fucking, some kind of, I guess really what I'm all I'm really saying is, if you fucking watch anime, you can get hyped up by that. But you know how that is. I find it very interesting. I say this a lot, that there's only two kind of anime fans, right? Fucking I guess I don't want to be mean, but let's just say one of them goes to the gym, works out, and gets jacked, and then the other one, I don't know what they do. I don't want to associate. But arms, triceps first, forearms are going to happen at the end. And I think I'm letting my fucking ego take over, because I keep trying to push through the pain of my right bicep, because it is only like a minor twinge. Like, I can still do my heavy sets, and I'm not impeded physically, but I can tell that sometimes it's just a little sore. I think I should. How about this? I don't think I'm capable of skipping it for too long, because it's not that bad. But if I curl the 60s or heavier, then I'm probably just re-injuring myself very slightly. And if I keep doing that over time, I go on rants about this almost every video, or at least every couple. If something hurts, don't fucking do it, right? And if that little thing, that voice in the back of your mind that's telling you to push through it, it's not that that's not a voice you should be listening to. So I'll do some feeler reps of curls and see how I feel, but I think I need to just pull back on the weight a little bit. I didn't do like an actual, I didn't have like an actual incident, but I can tell just like if I flex extra hard, just one little point right kind of on the peak is just a little bit extra tender, just a little. So of course, if something on my fucking build is compromised, my my first thought is not, okay, hey, who cares? Let's just push through it. Whatever, it's fine. Fast forward 2 weeks. Holy fuck, dude, I'm fucked. Oh shit. That's not a situation I want to be in. So, oh my god, I'm already here. I haven't even talked about the lift at all. So, push downs, probably of a variety. Maybe single arm, maybe double arm. Definitely gonna do some overhead single arm tricep extensions with a dumbbell. That stretched position that I get from there compared to a normal push down, I think that is going to push my triceps over the edge into legit growth. And then forearm, same as normal, forearm curls, reverse forearm curls, and then potentially some curls. I'll decide later, but let's focus on triceps first and get started. Reasonably packed, but I was able to get a hold of a cable, which, I mean, I've probably had hundreds of tricep days where all I did was put different attachments on the cable. I just stayed in the same place. But I think instead of trying to load up, 3 or 2 plates on the stack and doing both arms at once with a straight bar, I'll start with a light squeezing set with one handle at a time. So my right tricep's a little bit behind the left one. So I'll get, I don't know, let's say 20 reps on the right. If the left one could get 25, I'm still going to stop at 20 just to kind of, limit its growth and let the right one catch up. But nothing else to say but focus on the squeeze. Okay. I thought I was going to do 2, but let's just move on to overhead dumbbell. Let's see how this one set and move on method feels. Yeah, I think well, I mean, you got to think, I'm only going to do a couple of sets. So, I don't know. Maybe if I just liked the feeling of those single arm pushdowns, I would do more. But I guess in my mind, I'm like, yeah, just move on to something else. So since I've only done one set, instead of the 50s, I should be able to handle the 65s for some single arm overhead. And then, of course, I'm really emphasizing the stretch. Like, honestly, I want it to feel like it's going to rip my tricep off. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. Oh, fuck. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Usually my right tricep is weaker than my left. Huh. Good set, but let's drop it to the 55s. Okay. Let's move on to something else. I think I might just be done after this next set. I'll see how it feels, but honestly, I already feel pretty fatigued. We'll see. We'll decide in a little bit. All right, one more with a straight bar, but then we're done. I think I'm approaching what I would call fully stimulated as well as fully pumped. So let's see if I can just find the handle I want. Okay. All right. Yeah. Triceps are fully cooked. And not just fully cooked, I think perfectly cooked. Let's go do some curls. Well, let's go see how curls feel. All right, so I can't stay away from buys. You know, I gotta get a little pump going. But instead of going for like the fucking 80s, let's just do a couple sets with well, let's do one with the 35s and see how I feel. So definitely this bicep workout it's not really something I would just do out of nowhere. Like you know, I think if you've tweaked something, obviously you don't want to fucking re-injure it, but you do want to get it moving around. You know, I pulled my hamstring pretty fucking bad last Christmas. And I mean, dude, it's like, it was, if I sat down for a couple minutes and then stood up, fire. Couldn't even walk. I was like limping. But just moving around, even with just my morning cardio on the seated bike, I think getting some blood flow in the area is good for you. So let's say you, you know, slight pull on something, slight tweak on something, going light, getting some activation. I think that's going to be good for you. But, you know, use your best discretion. I'm not your physician. But set of curls to the 35s, control, squeeze, and I'll decide what to do next. Okay. I don't know how many I could have done if I was just going for straight up failure, but I mean, I'm still feeling a residual burn right now. So this is not my typical bicep workout, but I do want some bicep stimulation, even if I have to kind of restrict the weight, restrict the tension. But let's go do something else. I did a quick feeler rep, but I think some 35-pound preachers will do me good. So I did remember to bring I remembered to bring the measuring tape today. So I measured unpumped in the house, 19 inches pretty much flat. So that's baseline. And when we go check the pumped measurements, I'm hoping at least 19 and a half. Well, I know it's going to be at least 19 and a half, but I would love to be pleasantly surprised by something, approaching 20. Yeah. Every time I talk about arms, I say the same thing. 20 inches pumped, that's pretty cool. But 20 inches cold, that's not nothing. But let's just get another squeezing set done here and probably just move on to a whole new movement and do the same thing. Light and squeeze, get some good burning activation. Fuck. One more like that. Okay. All right. Let's move on to something else. I'm just going to finish off buys with a set of, well, it's basically just normal straight bar cable curls, but instead of standing up, I'm just going to sit down. I kind of feel like when I do them standing, I probably have a little bit more power. I can go a little bit heavier because I can kind of get some more body language into it. But seated, I get less of a lower back pump. So since it's going to be my last set, I'm going to make sure I go crazy. Seriously fucking squeeze as if I'm trying to fucking pop my biceps. And then we go check the pump and measure just how, trying to think of a cool word. And measure just how, let's just say monstrous they are. There we go. Okay. Let's go pose down. All right, so how many was that? Only what, 4-ish? Well, 4 sets for buys. But what, 5 sets for triceps? Let's see if the pump is any different from my old, fucking even 11. So I'm doing almost a third the volume that I was doing before. But this pump is not even, I'd say it's not even noticeably different at all. Not that I think it would be. And don't get confused. I'm not saying that just getting a pump is all you have to do to grow. Like, I probably would have preferred to do some heavier sets for buys, because mass moves mass. A big muscle is a strong muscle. So the stronger you get, the bigger you'll get. To an extent. To an extent, of course. But, you know, if I had the choice of between skipping biceps or doing just a little bit and working around something, what do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I am going to do? So before we do any poses, let's get the measurement just so we can get the, most accurate max pump value possible. How about this? Submit your guesses. Submit your guesses. What are we looking like? Fuck, man. I think I've got to put my money on 19 and a half. Could be wrong, though, so let's find out. It's kind of tricky to do this alone. Usually it's easier if you have a guy fucking help you, but whatever. And then make sure you do it fairly, alright? Don't fucking measure crooked or anything weird like that. So not only are you lying to other people, but you're just lying to yourself. You were just lying to your freaking self. Come on. Yeah, fuck. 19 and a half. 19 and a freaking half. On the dot. So, my right arm actually used to be noticeably smaller than the left. But now they've pretty much balanced. Oh, dude. The right one's actually a little bit bigger now. Ooh. I think I'm measuring slightly unfairly. Oh yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit of unfairness going on. You want it to be pretty much perpendicular. Yeah, 19 and a half too. So 19 and a half pumped. It's a cool number. That's a cool number. Not 20. Not 20. And I know that once they get to 20, I'm just going to say, oh, not 21. Oh, now they're not 22. But whatever. Constantly chasing the pump, right? By the time I reach arms this size unpumped, then I'm going to be chasing how big they are pumped. And it's just a constant loop of, hypothetically growth and progress, not torment. I think there's a fine line when it comes to looking at your body as a vector of progress between like, all right, yeah, we're making good progress, and oh god, this sucks. We all know the fucking body dysmorphia posts. The more you can lean towards this cool side instead of this fucking manic, narcissistic, everything else going on over here, the better. But let's bust out some classics. Oh. Oh. Woo. Bad freaking ass, man. Arms, well, half an inch bigger around than normal. I'm literally just looking at myself in the future. I'm time traveling into what I'll look like unpumped in hopefully just a few months, at least size-wise. But I think that's pretty much all I got to say for arms. Let's just go do some forearms. All right, so back again in the side room. So 25 pounder. My basic routine for forearms, I don't really do anything too crazy. You're not going to catch me doing like a arm wrestler forearm workout with like fucking, oh my God, what's his name? You're not going to catch me doing some Devin Laren shit. Or no, Devin Larrett. Don't let me disrespect him like that. You're not going to catch me like tying a 100-pound dumbbell to a karate belt and fucking doing some shit like this. But your forearms are a muscle. If you want them to grow, you got to train them directly. So you've got two basic parts of them, which when you grow them, are going to make you look cool, right? There's this kind of bottom part, right, which is going to tense up when you like flex downwards. you know, as if you're trying to fucking do a forearm curl like that. And then you've also got some extra shit over here, which I feel like really gets neglected. You know, if people are neglecting their forearms, then these little flexors or extenders, I don't know the terminology. These are, I'd say, probably the most neglected muscle group, except for maybe neck. But you know, who does that? So real light, 25 pounds, and then I'm just gonna sit here for like 10 minutes, right? Just like this. Put it down, wait a second. Honestly, it's not a very taxing movement. Like my forearms are gonna recover in maybe 30 seconds. So really, I'm just kind of sitting here spamming them, pumping up the back of my forearms. And then we can go do some kind of cable curl or some kind of something or other for the bottom part and go see how pumped they got. I'll just show one of each. It'll get kind of repetitive if I just show fucking four back to back. Ah, oh, fuck. Okay. Let's fast forward to this part. But I can sit here for, I don't know, however long. I'll update you. I'll keep you updated. So it's, well, I was about to say pretty basic movement, but honestly, when I do these, I don't just kind of do them mindlessly. I'm really trying to like, I mean, I'm doing a lot of weight. I got a lot of tension on my forearms, but I want to squeeze it hard enough that I really get a burning sensation. You know, I think I go about forearms a little bit more like I do shoulders. I'm not going to try to do lateral raises with 100 pounders. I'll use a weight that I can actually manage and get good, effective reps with. But, you know, as heavy as I can go. I wouldn't mind doing doing just a straight bar and doing both hands at once. But I kind of feel like I can get a better squeeze in one at a time. But I'll just do the one and we'll fast forward through the next like 4, maybe 5 more and go see just how inflated they get. Oh, yeah, I got a few more here. Let's skip to the pump. Oh. So it's literally tricky to fucking even open my hands all the way up. Oh, jeez. Like, I feel like I just tried to rock climb. Holy shit, dude. My right forearm's vascularity is much gnarlier than the left. Like, they're both cool, but the right one just... the right one just has a little extra. Just a little freaking extra. But, dude, fuck man. If they stay this pumped by the time I get home, there is no chance I get a fucking victory royale. But, you know, whatever. So, forearms, I've been adding them in recently, kind of just because, well, I want bigger forearms. But for the most part, they're relatively proportional with everything else. I just kind of want to get them a little beefier. So, in my, let's just say more formative years, arm day was arms and forearms. Basically, my routine was in between every set of biceps, I would do a set of forearm curls, either with a dumbbell or on the rope. Well, either with a dumbbell or on the cable. And then same thing with the reverse forearm. Like, set of curls, then one of those. Set of curls, then one of those. Like, they got just as much attention as everything else. But eventually they kind of got to a point of, let's just say, well, I got to a point of comfortability with them, to the point where, I felt like I didn't really have to add them in anymore. But I'd say I'll probably do it for a little bit longer for sure. I want to deposit some more protein right under these chicken wings and flats. But dude, fuck, man. Oh, holy shit. Who does who does this remind you of? How do they do the? You get what I'm saying. Let's get in the fucking car, dude. I can't focus. I can't even focus right now. Okay, my house. My house is it's in a state at the moment. It is in a state. Primarily the fucking kitchen. Not ideal for me. So that's going to be my task for tonight. But before I do that, obviously I got to eat. So my let's say my nightly well, tonight's agenda includes a couple of things. A ribeye with some ramen and some donuts, potentially some chocolate milk as well. And then once I've got a real full belly with some complex as well as simple carbs plus some proteins and fats being from know, the ribeye, then in terms of bodybuilding, in terms of muscle growth, I will have done all I can do. All I got to do is wait a couple, maybe an hour or two before I eat again. So I'll use that time in between meals to just watch The Sopranos and clean all my nasty dishes. Well, they're not nasty, but it's just and our sink is so small, so it fills up. Not, yeah, I'm just so lazy. I think, I say it's like, obviously I've got roommates, but I'm really the one that just makes a mess in there. So irresponsible. But good arm pump. I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly certain if I feel like the light-ish, let's just say more moderate weight squeezing sets are, as effective as some really heavy sets. Obviously, with biceps today, I did want to go a little bit lighter. I just wanted to get, some activation, get a good pump, move them around. But with triceps, I think I need at least one of those sets to be a bit heavier. I'm not going to say that going absolutely insanely as heavy as possible as you can every set is the best way to do it, but every time I every time I fucking reflect on these lifts, I pretty much say the same thing. An even mix of heavy sets as well as more moderate weight squeezing sets is going to result in what I would say is some solid muscle stimulus. But yeah, triceps, I think I needed one real heavy set. Probably, yeah, I don't know. I do not know. But still, super good pump. Definitely stimulated them. And I have noticed that I've really been working on the stretched position for triceps too. Not only do I want to do those overhead dumbbells to get that kind of well, super deep stretch on the long head, this big part, but even when I do normal pushdowns, instead of what I have done before, just kind of bouncing around the bottom of the rep, not even getting my arms up to 90, now I've really been going through the whole thing. But then again, I've also seen, kind of some old school videos of, there's this one that comes to mind. I don't know the guy, total freak, but he's doing triceps in a way which would, let's just say if you looked in the comments section of that video, if they had social media back then, he would have got some backlash for his technique. But look at him, he's a fucking freak. He probably had 21-inch arms at least. So there's definitely multiple ways to skin the cat of stimulating your fucking muscles, right? That's why you see buff-ass CrossFit dudes. I make this analogy every couple of days. Buff CrossFit dudes doing their full body athletic aerobic workouts. The Olympic lifter dudes, jacked and lean, super strong as well. Obviously bodybuilders, of course. Power lifters too. You can get big doing all sorts of stuff. So by that logic, the things that cross over between all those styles of training, aka, intensity, going hard on your sets, as well as getting some good rest, eating your food. If you can hit those three pillars, then to an extent, I think your training can vary widely from the dude next to you, and you'll still be able to get some results. Maybe not even some results, good results. You know, you don't have to be an exercise physiologist. You don't have to be an exercise PhD student to go into the gym and tell yourself you're going to obliterate your biceps and you're not going to leave until you do so. And I think if you follow that little self-imposed rule, you can develop a nice set of peaks in between your shoulders and your forearms. So I think main idea, if you're fucking really putting a lot of emphasis on thinking about trying, oh, let me try this new set. Let me try this, and you know, like what would do me better, do you think? Trying to figure out which tricep movement is going to better activate my short medial head, or putting a lot more, or putting that same amount, if not more effort into just making sure that all the sets that I do, I'm like, okay, right now let's pull a page out of Dorian Yates' book, if I can quote this correctly. Right, somebody's got a gun to your little baby's head, and if you don't get this next rep, you get what I'm saying. Going hard will beat going smart. But if you want to get big, you should do both. You should freaking do both. I think I've made a lot of I think I've said a lot of things that make me that portray myself as though I only want to, try to go hard and not, optimize my training, which I guess I kind of set myself up with all the fucking anti-science TikToks and whatever. But, at the end of the day, everybody who's involved with, let's just say, muscle growth, hypertrophy style training, that's what we want to do. Go hard, train better, train more efficiently, train more intensely as time progresses, and then keep raking in gains, keep raking in inches on our arms and new striations and veins on your quads and freaking skin splitting, pump cover ripping, awe-inspiring pumps. So don't get too caught up in the details if you can tell that you're not really pushing yourself to the limit, to the freaking limit. So I think that's pretty much all I gotta say. I'm kind of just rambling off about hype gym phrases, but I gotta eat, man. I gotta freaking eat. So if you're scarfing down a meal right now, finish it off, man. Get those calories into your system. And then, yeah. And if that's you, and I'm talking to you, the guy eating his meal right now, then I'm jealous. Holy shit, dude. Is that Sweet Baby Ray's you got on the side? Oh, nice. Nice, man. I'll make something cool in a couple minutes. That's all I got. That is all I freaking got. Cardio in the morning and then legs tomorrow. I'm excited to squat. So I'll see you next time.